Second-year Los Angeles Lakers guard Bronny James continues to show signs of improvement from his rookie season. In his team's third NBA Summer League outing against the Clippers on July 14th, Bronny produced a team-high 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in just 24 minutes of action. The son of LeBron James shot an impressive 60% from the field and led all Lakers with the best plus-minus differential, +5, when on the floor. The 20-year-old was perfect in the first half, making all of his 4 shots from the field, including 2 of 2 from deep. Bronny making a legit leap? Fans and analysts praised Bronny for taking considerable strides in his second year, following a disappointing rookie season in which he averaged 2.3 points for the Lakers. One fan felt Bronny was a legit talent. Lakers beat writer Raj C. noted that Bronny was reaping the rewards of his stint with the South Bay Lakers in the G League in his rookie season. Bronny averaged an impressive 21.9 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 5.5 assists in the G League last year. During Bronny's excellent G League stint, FS1's Nick Wright explained why the young guard was primed to break out in his second year in the NBA. He has had now close to 10 professional games, better than any college game he had, Wright said. I had been kind of harping on it, you then crystallized it to chalking up his freshman year to the cardiac arrest. And I think that is exactly right. I also think it is incredibly impressive and noteworthy that LeBron's interaction with Stephen A. Smith did put another target on Bronny. It wasn't a reason for it, and I defended LeBron vociferously on the right to do that, but in that moment, Bronny was kind of flying under the radar for the first time in a while, and then he wasn't, Wright continued. And the fact that Bronny responded to that by his best pro game and then trumped his best G League game with a legitimately excellent G League game is really impressive. Potential to be an elite defender. While Bronny's offensive game continues to be iffy, perfectly reasonable for a second-year player, his defense could potentially translate to the NBA immediately. Ahead of the 2025 Summer League, Bronny told the Lakers media that he plans to use his defensive chops to get himself into the team's rotation in the 2025-26 season. To get myself on the floor, I've got to be a defensive menace, Bronny reporters, via The Athletic's Dan Woik. That's my main focus, getting conditioned this year. It's been shown that I know how to score the ball a little bit. I'm staying true to that, but also focusing on the defensive end. Bronny previously cited Derek White and Drew Holiday as inspirations and the kind of players he aspires to be. White, much like Bronny, was unheralded entering the NBA after spending 4 years in college. The Colorado alum would prove a lot of people wrong by putting together a stellar pro career, best highlighted by the role he played in helping the Celtics capture the NBA championship in 2024. LeBron James recently opted into the $52.6 million player option on his contract. The former Cleveland Cavaliers star will now become an unrestricted free agent next summer. Shortly after LeBron decided to remain with the Los Angeles Lakers, Rich Paul told ESPN that the veteran superstar still wants to contend for a championship. LeBron wants to compete for a championship, Paul said. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie, Buss, and Rob Pelinka, and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. According to ESPN's Brian Windhorst and Ramona Shelburne, a handful of teams checked in on LeBron's availability after Paul's statement. One Eastern Conference executive was convinced James wanted out of LA. Windhorst and Shelburne reported. A handful of teams, including the Golden State Warriors, who tried to trade for James in 2023-24, considered again whether to make an offer, sources said. One Western Conference executive chalked it up to an elaborate pout because the Lakers hadn't offered James a new contract extension. NBA insider Brandon "Scoop B" Robinson shared the names of the teams that had reportedly shown interest in acquiring LeBron. A Cavaliers homecoming for LeBron makes sense. LeBron started his NBA career with the Cavaliers. He is an Akron native. Furthermore, he helped secure the franchise's first championship during his second tenure with the team. Bringing LeBron back for one final push at another ring before calling time on his career would be somewhat poetic. However, the Cavaliers would undoubtedly struggle to match his enormous salary via trade. Any move for LeBron would likely cost them Jared Allen, as the Lakers have been keen on adding a lob threat. Still, if the Cavaliers are dead set on contending for a championship next season, LeBron could help them achieve that goal. Even in his 40s, he remains one of the most impactful players in the league, despite his defensive slippage. Donovan Mitchell speaks on playoff loss. During the Cavaliers' second game of the Las Vegas Summer League, Donovan Mitchell joined the broadcast and shared his thoughts on the franchise falling short. When you're in hindsight, it's always like, okay, we've taken a step. You need this to take it to the next level, Mitchell stated. But to be honest with you, and I think we all feel this way, it was a letdown for us, man. We let ourselves down. We let the city down. And we let the organization down. We all felt it. Everything lined up for us to do that, and we didn't take care of business. So, that's the failure on our part. So, now the biggest thing is take it, use it as fuel. A star trio of Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and LeBron could be enough to give the Cavaliers a shot at a championship. Unfortunately for Cleveland, it's highly unlikely LeBron leaves the Lakers this summer. And if he does, the Golden State Warriors would likely be in pole position to secure his services. If one thing is certain around the NBA, it's that the Los Angeles Lakers need to improve. However, there have been questions about what the front office plans to do after LeBron James' recent comments. James' comments are somewhat telling, as the Lakers might not be looking to pair him with the most talent because they don't want to give up assets. Frankly, it might not be the worst idea, either, as the Lakers don't have to do everything for a 40-year-old. On the other hand, one could make a strong argument that creating the best possible roster with James would still make sense, given that he's clearly a top 10 to 15 player in the NBA. It remains uncertain if the Lakers will change their ways anytime in the near future, but Sports Illustrated recently proposed a decent trade idea for them to pursue to do just that. The deal would include the Atlanta Hawks and Miami Heat for Bam Adebayo. Hawks receive Maxi Kleber. Heat receive Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect, and a top 3 protected 20311 SD round pick via LEL. Lakers receive Bam Adebayo. They get one of the elite defenders in the NBA and someone to pair with Doncic, even when James retires. The center position is suddenly a strength for Los Angeles, and they improve their team and chances of making a run this season, SI wrote. Miami lands a potential young star. Landing Adebayo would be a home run for the Los Angeles Lakers, whether it be for the short or long term. However, for that trade to go through, the Miami Heat would have to agree to it. According to Sports Illustrated's reasoning, it could be due to them getting Reeves in return and hoping that he becomes a potential all-star player. This is a way to free up future space by getting ahead and off of his contract early. Adebayo is a really good player, but if he does not get back to his level of play from when the Heat were in the finals in 2023, that is not going to be a good deal to have on the books. Miami gets Reeves, who looks like a potential all-star, and Vincent, who can give them depth on the bench and is plenty familiar with how they want to play. Connect can give them shooting off the bench, and having another draft asset is not a bad move for when another star player wants to be moved, they added. Would Miami cut ties with Adebayo? The one issue with hoping that the Los Angeles Lakers' young guard, Reeves, becomes an all-star caliber player is the fact that they'd be moving on from an all-star player already with Adebayo. Are they really going to move Bam? This move would make them worse this season, and Reeves and Tyler Herro don't really seem like a great fit defensively together, SI wrote. It wouldn't be too surprising to see the Lakers move on from someone like Reeves in a deal, and it's possible that the Heat would trade Adebayo. But this type of deal might not make too much sense. It'd be a great one for the Lakers, but a bad one for the Heat.